Like this fresh sprouting tea leaf on a sunny morning, there is fresh hope among smallholder tea farmers in Kenya following the ongoing reforms at the Kenya Tea Development Agency, KTDA. The reforms have made the farmer the prime decision maker and have brought efficiency in the value chain with a view to making the farmer earn better. Today, we begin an exciting 4-part series about the new KTDA. We will spend time with farmers in the field. We will speak to the leadership. We will trace the value chain, and we begin by looking at KTDA structure and ownership. Welcome to the new aroma of tea. Smallholder tea farming in Kenya began in 1954 under the colonial government. In 1957, the first smallholder tea factory was established in Ragati, Nyeri. The Kenya Tea Development Authority was established in 1964, which operated as an authority until the year 2000 when it was privatized. It was renamed Kenya Tea Development Agency, and it is governed through the Companies Act. In 2007, KTDA Holdings was formed as an umbrella company under which all other KTDA companies operate. KTDA is owned by 54 tea factory companies, which collectively own 71 tea processing factories spread across 16 counties in Kenya.
KTDA is actually owned by small-scale farmers through their 54 factory companies, who in turn elect directors within the factories, and the factories within the zone areas, they elect their representatives who sit at the KTDA holding. We have 12 zone directors who have been elected through the factories, the 54 of them. Currently, we have about 650,000 small-scale farmers who are affiliated to KTDA.
The bottom-up governance model ensures the farmer is at the heart of the tea trade. Through representation by directors, farmers have a seat at the table where decisions regarding their factory are being made.
It means that farmers themselves own up the decisions which are made by those representatives, because they elected them to make a decision on their behalf. So that's how they end up holding up whatever decision is made at the holding level by those representatives who are elected by the same farmers. And they can recall them, of course, during the next cycle of elections. So that vibrance in the sense that every time the farmer can replace whoever they feel is not representing their interests.
The current board was elected into office in July 2021. Its chairperson is David Muni Ichoho. He is a tea farmer with wide experience in the tea value chain.
This was a new social contract with the farmers. Our main objective was actually to bring sanity within the subsector. As you are aware, the sector is very important in terms of the economy. They are the world's largest exporter of tea in the world. Kenya also, you are aware, is a third producer after China and India. So we play an important role within the economy in terms of rural economy, empowering people, enhancing wealth, and also reduction of poverty among our communities. One of our objectives that we had was to ensure that farmers are able to get more money in their pocket.
Philip Ngeno, a tea farmer in Bomet, is happy with the reforms in KTDA.
The farmer is on the table. The farmer is actually the main stakeholder of the factory. Before Munya reforms, we could wait for another 1 month to get our monthly pay. But after Munya's reforms, they adjusted to be paid every month. Immediately you close the month, which I've seen to be a big advantage to the shareholders, to the tea farmers.
We are starting in the best footing. Idea is aligning our objective with the objective of the farm. Once we know the objective of the farmer, of course, some of them is understanding that the farmer wants to ensure to be governed properly, ensure we are responsive to the farmers, ensuring also we are able to bring returns to the farmer.
The 16 counties where KTDA has presence are Bomet, Embu, Kakamega, Kericho, Kiambu, Kirinyaga, Kisii, Meru, Murang'a, Nakuru, Nandi, Nyamira, Nyeri, Vihiga, Trans Nzoia and Tharaka Nithi. KTDA handles about 55% of tea produced in Kenya.
This sector is playing an important role because we are bringing a lot of dollars into the country. We are actually the second largest contributor of dollars in the country, apart from the diaspora. Majority of our farmers actually have less than half an acre. And their teas are able to be consumed in London, in Europe, and other countries.
KTDA is a large corporate taxpayer. It is a huge employer with over 10,000 workers besides the 650,000 small-scale farmers across the country.
But then we have indirect now, or the dependent, or people who depend on the KTDA, approximately about 70 million of the Kenyan population, which is about 10%. So from that you can see the kind of contribution the KTDA makes in this economy. KTDA factories are actually located in the rural areas. So of course, through that location itself, it means they employ the people from those catchment areas. The suppliers come from the same catchment areas. And generally, that ecosystem, it's able to trickle within the local communities. So even the small market areas there, they have an impact of the KTDA.
KTDA Holdings Limited has invested in the tea value chain through its 8 subsidiaries on behalf of farmers. These subsidiaries provide critical services to factories and farmers at lower than market rates to ensure funds are saved. Further, dividends declared from the profits made by these subsidiaries are paid to the tea factory companies through KTDA Holdings Limited. The factories in turn pay dividends to farmers. One of these subsidiaries is KTDA Management Services, which manages the 71 processing factories through management agreements with the respective 54 factory companies.
They provide now management services which the farmers, of course, have no skills on that. The quality of the tea, the marketing of the tea. Because if you can imagine, if all the 54 factories were to go and market tea, which is an international product, the cost will be too huge to benefit the farmers. So through that aggregation, we are able to save a lot for the farmers.
And then there is Kenya Tea Packers Limited, commonly known as KTDA, a leader in tea blending, packaging and distribution for local and overseas markets. KTDA has diversified into the bottled water business with its KTDA Maisha water brand. The other subsidiary is Chai Trading Company Limited, which plays a critical role in the value chain. Its core business is warehousing, blending, trading and export of tea that is produced by KTDA managed factories. It is based in Miritini, Mombasa. The company exists to ensure farmers get best value for their money by utilizing economies of scale to get best rates for warehousing and trade services.
Chai Trading handles or stores all KTDA made tea. All made tea before it's transacted in the auction has to be brought to Mombasa. So the tea will stay here until it's sold and collected by the owners. With a capacity of around 1.2 million square feet, we are able to warehouse all of KTDA's production.
We actually sell teas and ship out on behalf of the buyers in form of straight line and blended. Blended teas means that we actually blend the teas following what the client wants. And the straight line means we are actually selling, we are shipping out the tea in its original form. So in that, we are able to expand the market and add value to the shareholder.
Chai Trading also handles imports of machinery and other equipment, as well as fertilizer for the smallholder tea farmers. This is achieved cost effectively due to economies of scale. In Nairobi, Chai Trading Company has established an inland container depot in Embakasi to help clear cargo from the Mombasa port including KTDA cargo and commercial cargo. These subsidiaries have been set up as part of business and product diversification strategy.
We have Green and Feather. This is a credit microfinance to just help the farmers access cheap credit. At the current, we are giving them at 8%, which is way below the market. There is none actually in the whole country which is giving loans at 8%. Even SACCOs are much higher than that. Then we do have KTDA Power, and that one they are investing in green energy, in hydros and soras. And through that, of course, we are able to save cost on energy, which is a huge cost at the factory level. Then we have TEMEC. TEMEC is basically involved in engineering and fabrication. Again, by their participation, it has made the cost of the spare part to be cheaper in the sense that they are able now to procure cheaply and sell to the factories as opposed to other than parties. We also have Majani Insurance Brokers, and this one is the one which is involved in procuring insurance services for the whole group, that is RIFE and general insurances. And through the commission they get, the same money is now paid as a dividend to the farmers, which would have gone to another brokerage firm. Actually, they have done so well that they have put one of the iconic buildings in Nairobi, that is Majani Prasa, through the income they have generated through the brokerage services.
Lastly, there is KTDA Foundation, a not-for-profit affiliate company that champions the corporate social responsibility activities of the group and leads its corporate social investment projects.
Foundation is actually the social vehicle for the company because you have to give back to the society. So we normally get a lot of funding from international partners, and through the foundation we are able to educate the farmers, to also participate in environmental conservation, education for their children, particularly vulnerable ones. So really, through that, we are able to impact hugely to the society.
Remember, Kenya is the largest exporter of tea in the world and the largest producer after China and India. Only 5% of tea produced in Kenya is consumed locally. Pakistan is the leading buyer of Kenya's tea, followed by Egypt, the United Kingdom, and the United Arab Emirates. The four countries account for 69% of Kenya's tea exports. Kenya's tea is sold to the international market through the Mombasa Tea Auction, which is the largest tea auction in the world.
Producer members, they're the ones who offer the tea, they grow the tea and bring it to the auction, like KTDA is one of our producer members. And then we have buyers. They buy the tea from the auction and offer it to their clients overseas. Then we have the brokers, who are intermediaries between the producer and the buyer.
It is done in a transparent manner. Recently, actually, we are online. You are able to see tea as it's being sold on real time. So we support it so much because it's a transparent way of ensuring that our tea fetches the highest price because it's based on bidding. So we are a supporter and we are represented through IATA, which operates or which manages the auction.
That brings us to the end of the first episode of this series, New KTDA and Fresh Hope for Tea Farmers. Join us next week as we trace the journey of tea from the farm to the factory. Many thanks for watching.